Hi ladies, hello. Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I just got off of an amazing hike. We went up into the woods this morning. We woke up and we're like, you know what? Today is not a working day. Today needs to be a recharge day. And we just had like the most gorgeous walk. The sun came out. It had been like raining for the last week straight. And we just like jumped out into the trees. Hi, April. And just were like hiking and just had, oh my God, we brought our little puppy. He can now finally actually go into the woods on and off leash. And he's doing such a great job. He just like trots by my side. Like this is the cutest, sweetest little dog. Anyways, all that to say, oh, hi, Sophia. I am just in such a place of gratitude right now. Things are expanding and growing on such a massive level right now in this business and in my capacity to hold space. And it's incredible. I've been really opening up energetically more and more space in myself and like calling it in from the universe of just like, I'm ready to call in more women. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to put myself out there really to be seen and just continuing like even more so, right? Like I see such a beautiful vision for Relax Into Love. And by the way, I'm going to talk about a whole nother thing today. I just wanted to get started on this because this is what's really coming through me right now. I see such a huge vision coming through for Relax Into Love and being a leading brand in this into this relationship coaching industry, right? And I think that it's really needed. And more I'm recognizing just how many women are needing support with this and needing help with this. And I'm just recognizing it's time to lean in fully. I'm hiring on a team. I'm just really starting to expand my messages and my marketing, and it's just feeling so freaking good. And I'm welcoming all the new women that have signed up to work with me in the last month or 6 weeks. It's been incredible to see how many women are just coming forward and saying, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to work with you, TL. Like, let's do this. So just celebrating each of you in this community for being here and contributing and learning and interacting, because it creates such a vibrant community to be able to lead, right? To be able to continue to encourage you guys to just come through and step forward and own what's coming up for you, own what questions you have, own what fears you need help with, and to be able to just say, okay, let's go in, let's slay, right? I was talking to a woman yesterday and she's just like, I think there's some minor tweaking with some fears that are just keep lingering, and we're just going to go in there and just start slaying those fears. And it's really exciting to see women claiming this year, right? Claiming this energy of this year of like, this is our year to just like expand on a massive level. I feel it. It's like the divine feminine is just like, boosh, blasting light onto the planet, and women are just like, I'm ready. So if you're ready this year to just like blast your heart with radiance and light and love, just drop your favorite emoji in the comments, because I'm there. I'm going to be dropping so many emojis in the comments myself. Anyways, to all of you guys watching, I actually wanted to talk about something completely different today. I had a request for a video. And by the way, if any of you have like requests for videos that you want me to talk about specifically, I'm happy to entertain that, because I noticed that a lot, especially like with my one-on-one clients, we go so deep into the intricacies of just how our souls interact with like everyone on the planet, right? And really big questions come through on these calls. And I realize these are things that everyone needs to learn about, right? And everyone needs to be able to benefit from. So I've decided to actually expand out and answer her question in the group here to share what we've been talking about. And her question is how to not lose your independence and that beautiful feminine and masculine polarity when you start to actually move in with your man and when you start living with your man. So this is for someone that has been with their man for a while and is now at that stage of wanting to move in together. And I know I don't talk about this phase of the relationship much either. It's mostly focused on, looking for men, meeting men, raising your standards and your energetic bar for what you accept as a woman, right? But there's a whole nother phase of dating and relationships, which is like, okay, I have the guy, now what? Right? How do I keep this around? How do I not just hook it in, but how do I actually keep it around? So if any of you are in that stage, drop a 1 in the comments. And let's really explore this a little bit, right? Because this is such a great question and something really important. And I think the first part of this is recognizing when is actually the right time to move in with your man, right? Because this can really make a beautiful foundation to start with, but it can also be kind of making things rocky as well if you do it too soon, right? And I think that a lot of times we can mess up in our minds. We get caught up into what I jokingly call the relationship timeline, right? Where in our minds, we have this whole progression of how we think the relationship has to move forward. And drop a comment in the yes, or like yes in the comments if this is you, right? Where you recognize and you think like, okay, well, if we've gotten to this point in our milestones of the relationship, then that must mean that we're this kind of related to each other, or this kind of like intimate with each other. And it must mean that it's leading towards this and this, right? This relationship timeline can get really, really tricky if we really look to that as indicators of the success of the relationship, because that's not at all what indicates the success of a relationship, okay? Being on a relationship timeline with specific milestones, like when you meet each other's friends, and when you have your first trip together, right? And when you guys meet each other's parents. Like, a lot of times in our brain, we tend to put these milestones into how the health or the success of the relationship is, right? And what can happen is that we can become so focused on trying to get those milestones achieved, right? Kind of getting back into that masculine mode, trying to check off the boxes of like, okay, we've met the friends, right? He slept over. Okay, like now we need to meet the parents. And if we haven't met the parents, then oh God, what's gonna happen, right? This was me for a little while when I was first dating Spence, because he was a little bit more hesitant to bring me into his family right away, which is completely okay and completely understandable. And but in my mind, in the early phases, I was like, oh God, what does this mean? It's been this many months, it's been this many years, and I still haven't met his family, right? But it had nothing to do with the success or the health of the relationship. That was actually thriving more than I could have ever imagined. But there was still this little inkling of my mind that was like, gotta get it down the timeline, gotta check the box, right? So that's the first thing I want you to just really check in on and really gut check in yourself is, am I trying to actually push this forward so that I can have some sort of like sense of relief or sense of comfort of knowing that we are X amount in the journey to the ring, right? The race to the ring. It's like a board game, right? All the little phases to get to the ring. Newsflash, getting to the ring is not the end goal. Okay? Getting to the ring is not the end goal, because as unfortunate as it is, like, we tend to also have our mind get into this place of like, okay, well, once I got the ring, I'm safe, right? Once I get the ring, I don't have to work so hard. Once I get the ring, I can relax and I can just, let myself go and just be loved and everything's going to be fine. Well, that doesn't actually happen in reality, right? In reality, we need to stay in that beautiful give and take balance and dance for our entire life. Right? This is not about trying to get anywhere. It's about enjoying the unfolding every step of the way, every beautiful, juicy, intimate step of the way, right? And that can't be measured on a timeline. That is the magic that is happening in these moments in between the timeline, right? Oh, I need to write that down. That was really beautiful. It is. It's the magic of what's happening in between these milestones on the timeline. And so if you're trying to judge the relationship based on where you think it needs to be, then it's not actually dropping you into your heart of getting to really just enjoy where it is right now, right? And the little cute little things that you get to notice in these moments right now, right? Like right now, for myself, I am starting to really enjoy the cute moments of watching Spence be a puppy dad. He's just like the sweetest little father for this puppy, and it just like melts my heart. And if I was already trying to rush to like, okay, gotta be married by now, gotta be popping out kids by now, right? Like, that's just gonna like rush this whole beautiful intimate space of me getting to watch him like raise this puppy together. Like, it's so incredibly sweet. So that was my very long tangented answer to when to be moving in with someone, right? So But I think it was really important and really necessary. And drop me some comments of things that like are hitting home for you and you're like, oh yeah, oh that makes sense, or oh yeah, I never thought about that, because I like to hear the engagement as well and make sure that this is making sense to you as well. But anyways, when you do decide to move in and it does feel like the timing is right, it does feel like it's that natural progression of building that intimacy and that connection that's not based on the mind timeline, but just based on the heart, in the feelings of the heart, then it's like, okay, great. Yeah, we want to move in together. We want to take that next step of really exploring. I think that this is really beautiful to be able to do. Anywhere from 6 months to a year to 3 years into the relationship, right? There's no rush in needing to move in together. I think the longer that you spread things out, the better. But when that time does come, this is about exactly like my client was asking me, how do I make sure that I maintain that independence and maintain that fun polarity and that magic and that push and pull in the energy? And I think that the biggest thing here is making sure that you first have that independence first before moving in together, right? Because as you know, we can't come into a relationship looking to complete our sense of ourself. We need to make sure that we are whole and complete, and so that we're also attracting another whole and complete person. And so when you do then tend to come together into living together, it gets to be making sure that you are still honoring everything that you're doing for yourself that makes you feel good, right? The things that are filling up your own cup outside of your partner. And so I think that's been the biggest thing for me. I've been living with Spence for, over, I think, 4 or 5 years. And 2.5 years of that, we were traveling the world. So in very tight quarters, spending every single moment together, moving through, navigating, stressful logistics of traveling. And I think that the biggest thing there is just really anchoring and honoring individually the things that we do to fill our own cup up, that it does not require each other, right? Because we can never be looking to our partner to make us feel good, even though that is kind of a natural byproduct because you just love being around them, right? But we can't look to them to make us feel fulfilled and feel filled up and feel independent and confident, right? We have to make sure that before we enter into any relationship, that we already know what that feels like and how that works and what makes us feel completely whole and complete, right? Completely whole and complete. In the fact that they could go off for like a week or two and you could be just completely fine just doing your own thing without needing any check-ins or any like validation or any connection with them at all, right? Really anchoring into that independence. And if you know what that is for you and you know like, okay, I know I have to do my meditations, otherwise I'm just going to be a crazy person, and I know I need to exercise, I know I need to get into nature, I know I need to dance, right? Then making sure that you are actually honoring and anchoring that into your weekly schedule and calendar, even though you're going to be living with this other person, right? Because a lot of times what can happen is we can really lose ourselves in the relationship a little bit, where we start to kind of being like, oh, usually I do this on Wednesdays, but since you're home or since you're here, like, I just want to hang out with you, right? It's like in those moments we can kind of slide and we can kind of sacrifice the things that make us actually feel good when we really just want to spend time with this person in front of us. But what doesn't work is actually keeping yourself in this little incubator of spending all your time together, because if you're doing that, then you don't actually have anything that does create that polarity, that push and pull, right? Because you're not doing anything outside of spending time with each other. And so by having these other things that are still your things that make you feel fulfilled and filled up outside of the relationship, then it becomes this kind of pull back, do our own thing, come back together, share, grow, learn, challenge each other, teach each other, right? And it brings in more harmony and more excitement and more magic and fun into the relationship. So that's really, I think, what I'm trying to say with answering this question here is that to not lose your independence, one, you have to have your independence in the first place before entering into the relationship, right? Otherwise, you're just going to fall into codependent, toxic patterns and behaviors. Or if you are feeling you're afraid of losing that polarity, this is about making sure that you're pulling away, continuing to recharge on your own, continuing to do those beautiful passions, and then coming back together to ignite each other, right? So a great example of this right now that we've kind of settled here in Portland and we're deciding like we want to call Portland our home, we've been really diving into more of the communities here. And we're both really happy because in January they opened back up all the gyms, and we are both really athletic, active people. And one thing that really allows us to kind of pull together and come back is being able to go and do different like workout and activities. And we could do them together, right? And we do a lot of activities together, but it's really important to have our own activities as well. And so he started doing jujitsu. So fun, so cool. He's like showing me all these wrestling moves on the floor. And I'm doing pole dancing, right? So he's really getting to get into that like manly, masculine, just like rough and dirty, pounding each other to the ground kind of thing. And I get to be really activating my feminine, kind of dance and play and energy through that kind of activity. And so when we come back together, that's what brings back that polarity, right? So regardless if you are in that stage of wanting to move into the relationship or you are newly dating or not yet dating, right? This is the main takeaway message is still the same. And that message is it's so important to make sure that we are keeping ourselves as the energy that is being cultivated, right? We have to keep the focus on ourselves, because as soon as we start to give that focus to somebody else or we expect it from somebody else to make us feel good, then it just throws everything off, right? And you lose that sense of groundedness and security and sense of self within yourself, right? So hopefully that answers her question, and I think so. I've been talking for a while. But this is just such beautiful, beautiful truths coming through, and I'm really happy to get to share it with you all. So anyways, I hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday today. I also wanted to let you know that I am reopening up the doors to the Next Attraction Academy. We're going to be starting in mid-March. I have one woman that just signed up yesterday, and I am super excited to see who are going to be the next lucky ladies to join me. If you are curious and learning about this more, just can DM me and we can get on a quick call and kind of chat about what this looks like and if this would be the right fit for you. But this is just my container of 5 beautiful women that I select to take through my Relax into Love Master Course materials and really learn how to step into being that feminine goddess, that just powerful queen. And it's an incredible program. So I'm going to go and lay in the sun because I am in desperate need of some sun after all this rain. And I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Mwah.